Well, this is the time of year I cannot resist talking about this again. Hallmark Christmas movies come on. They've been so popular that now, like We does them and a couple of other stations, Lifetime I think does them. They all have these same stories. Basically, a lady finds love during Christmas. And what I once sat up with, I have to admit, a stiff drink and watched one after another of them. I could not take my eyes off them. It was the first time I discovered them because it actually felt like I was being allowed into women's daydreams. You know, it was like kind of like when that 50 Shades of Grey came out and like guys read it and went, really? You know, really? Oh, wow. You know, but this is kind of the benign form of that. It's just like what daydreams look like because they are constructed exactly like daydreams in the sense that there's no suspense. Usually when people have daydreams, they don't really have a lot of suspense. They'll pose a problem, but then they'll solve the problem almost in the next second because it's a daydream. Why should you daydream that things go wrong? You daydream that things go right. And these stories are one after another. So Bray Payton over at The Federalist, and I was mentioning this before with Jenna, The Federalist and the Washington Examiner have become two exceptional venues. Federalist because of Molly Hemingway, I'm sure, and the Washington Examiner is who runs the Washington Examiner? I can't remember. This guy used to be at National Review. Anyway, they both have done spectacular jobs of making these into excellent venues. Anyway, Bray Payton, writing humor at The Federalist, writes Hallmark tropes that will help you bag a man in time for Christmas. And she just uses the plot of Hallmark Christmas stories of how this is how you find a man. One, get snowed in together. Use the bad weather to your advantage. If there's a cold snap set to roll in, use a busy rental property manager's booking mix-up to spend the holiday snowed in with a hot single dad. Two, embrace strange inheritance requirements. If there's one thing you can bet on in these movies, it's that rich people are eccentric AF and they will make their heirs jump through bizarre and romantically involved hoops to secure their fortunes. Number three, recognize your sexual chemistry with your longtime rival. I love this one. This one's is almost every story. Maybe the real reason why you can't stand that one guy in your professional sphere is because you actually have the hots for him. Be sure to fall into a situation where you have to spend a lot of time in the same space together so you figure that out. Charm the stiff corporate guy into not being a Grinch, that super corporate guy who rolls into your hometown with the intention of replacing your coworkers with robots is actually a softie deep inside. You just have to touch his heart with Christmas cheer to get him to open up. You know what I would love women to explain to me, though, is seriously, the two things that, well, the one important thing is what is it about seaside towns that women love so much? I mean, it must be 40% of these stories take place in little seaside villages where the heroine runs a little quaint coffee shop or a cookie shop or something like that. And the guy is this kind of rugged outdoors, maybe he runs a boat or something. But there's something about these seaside towns that women just love. If I had known this, I would have made out like a bandit. I would have moved to a seaside town. I didn't have done anything. I was so lonely. But I just want to know why these things work. You got to watch these Hallmark things. You really do. Especially if you're a guy and you want to know what women are thinking about, you really have to sit and watch these things for a couple of hours because they are just absolutely revelatory. And of course you find out just how much people want to be loved. I mean, I think women have an especial yearning for this, but men, of course, too, want to be loved. And it really is kind of a reminder that that's what we're here for. You know, we're not, all the rest of the stuff is just taking up time. This is really what we want to do.